I brought a gearbox, a roll of copper tape, 6 mouse traps, and a bag of glass eyes. The eyes are non-functional. I want that established before somebody gives them authority.
You say non-functional, but they've already improved the gearbox enormously. It now looks disappointed in us.
Put one on crooked. Perfect symmetry makes a machine look expensive, and then everyone becomes afraid to touch it.
No, wait, 2 eyes, but they're looking in different directions because the machine knows something is coming from the left and something worse is coming from the right. We don't know what either thing is yet. That's the first shot.
If the eyes disagree, perhaps the mechanism should proceed only when neither is correct.
Excellent. We've been here 30 seconds and Ramanujan has already designed British public administration.
The actual constraint is that we have one afternoon, whatever is already on these benches, and no motors stronger than that windshield wiper motor. Also, nothing gets plugged into the wall until I inspect it.
That last rule seems personally directed.
It became personally directed when you walked in carrying an extension cord like a bandolier.
I brought a behavior, not a mechanism. I want it to become embarrassed, not pretend to be embarrassed. I want it to attempt one thing, realize we're watching, and abruptly do something else badly.
That is a mechanism. Shame is a mechanism. Shame is a gear train with terrible lubrication.
And usually an enormous flywheel.
Embarrassment may be modeled as a discontinuity introduced by observation. Before attention, one sequence. After attention, another.
See, that's why I wanted all of you. I say I want it to get caught with its pants down, and suddenly it has a discontinuity.
Both descriptions can live on the same index card. Quentin, what did you bring?
A story impulse. The machine spends the whole time preparing to fire a tiny red flag. Every movement says the flag is important. Levers cock. A bell counts down. A marble rolls through a dangerous-looking corridor. Then, at the exact moment the flag should pop, the machine changes its mind and serves you one olive.
That is magnificent, except for the olive.
The olive is the whole thing.
The olive is a garnish masquerading as an ending. It should deploy something with consequence. A hammer, a flare, a small but measurable landslide.
One afternoon, bench materials, windshield wiper motor, no pyrotechnics.
You're removing every adjective from my contribution.
Bring me a ridiculous behavior that doesn't make the building evacuate.
Fine. It must contain a completely unnecessary gear change. Not merely gears, a gear change. The machine reaches a perfectly sustainable speed, pauses, selects another ratio with tremendous ceremony, and becomes slower.
That's not ridiculous. That's aging.
Aging is mechanically fascinating.
And cinematic. You hear the engine, you think it's building. Then clunk second gear, and the whole thing crawls. That's tension turning into insult.
Srinivasa?
I brought a rule. The machine may repeat, but it must never repeat after the same interval. Its weights should belong to a sequence that appears nearly intelligible and then refuses completion.
Can it occasionally wait so long that we assume it's broken?
It would be better if it waits exactly long enough for one person to begin repairing it.
Then it moves while their hand is almost, but not quite, inside.
No hands inside moving machinery.
Figuratively inside.
I've worked with too many people who treat figurative fingers as spare parts.
Okay, look at the table. We have shame under observation, a fake climax with an olive, a downshift into uselessness, and irregular pauses that bait intervention. That's not 4 ideas. That is one deeply neurotic machine.
It lacks a purpose.
That's the point.
No, it lacks the sort of fake purpose that lets us judge whether it is failing. Even an unnecessary machine needs an objective. Otherwise, it's just parts having a meeting.
Give it an object to transport.
The olive.
Yes. The machine moves one olive 6 feet, but it behaves as though the olive has diplomatic immunity and 3 rival governments want it dead.
A food item through a shop mechanism is going to collect grease, sawdust, and whatever Jeremy has on his sleeve.
History.
We can use a wooden olive, green paint, red pimento, same visual, fewer health code crimes.
I object. A wooden olive can't be disappointed when nobody eats it.
A real olive possesses no more certainty about being eaten.
That is a dangerous thing to tell an actress.
What if the real olive is waiting at the end? The machine transports the wooden olive, gives it all this ceremony, drops it behind a curtain, and then presents the real one. Sleight of hand. The audience thinks transformation, but anybody who comes around back sees the switch. No lie if the seam is visible.
That I like. We can make the exchange obvious from the rear. The trick is for the front. The mechanism is for us.
And the three people over there are the front, apparently.
Don't point. They're doing excellent audience work.
3 silent witnesses change the physics. Lucille's machine is already embarrassed.
Observation is now one of our real constraints.
Good. Let's choose what to prototype first. Not the whole machine, the riskiest interaction.
The gearbox.
You said that before I finished?
Because the gearbox is the only part that can fail, honestly. A wooden olive cannot strip a tooth and ruin your afternoon.
It could if I swallowed it.
Nobody swallow the prototype. I think the riskiest part is the observation change. We need the machine to behave one way alone and another way when watched without a computer if possible.
A shadow can be the signal. Light falls on a photoresistor until a person approaches.
That uses electricity, and therefore Kari will make us fill out a form.
Copper tape, battery, little relay, no form, but I'd rather the watcher cause it mechanically. A floorboard, a breath, the weight of elbows on the rail.
Elbows. People lean in when they're interested. The machine should punish interest.
Not punish. Betray. You lean in because the marble is almost there and your leaning diverts it.
Then observation does not merely reveal the state. It changes the recurrence.
We'll hinge the front rail. Tiny movement pulls a cable. Cable operates a points lever. Marble takes the boring route if nobody watches, and the absurd route if anyone leans in.
That's buildable. The rail needs enough resistance that room vibration won't trigger it, but not so much that a person notices they're operating a switch.
I want them to notice afterward. The rail should sigh.
The sigh is perfect. They lean in, clunk. Marble takes the wrong turn. Half a second later, the machine judges them.
Can we build before this becomes a seminar on culpability?
Yes.
Jeremy, make the hinged rail and cable linkage. Srinivasa, give me a pause sequence we can make with a cam rather than software. Quentin, lay out the action as beats on cards. Lucille, you and I will prototype the diverter and the...
You heard her. I'm in charge of respiratory engineering.
You're in charge of finding a bellows-shaped object that isn't disgusting.
There goes my first choice.
Beat 1, wooden olive placed on throne. Beat 2, operator turns tier. Beat 4, delayed awakening, violent but tiny. Beat 5, transport begins. Beat 6, audience leans. Betrayal route. Beat 7, ceremonial downshift. Beat 8, apparent climax. Beat 9, olive.
You've used olive twice.
First one is wooden, last one is real. Completely different actors.
The intervals could be 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, 16.
That sounds suspiciously like you're just adding one more each time.
Yes, a sequence need not be difficult to be felt. The increments are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The weighting grows by a rule visible only after patience.
16 seconds is long in a machine this size.
It's good. At 16 seconds, somebody will say it's broken.
At 8 seconds, I will say it's broken.
Then 8 is our practical infinity.
That's a title, Practical Infinity. It sounds like a 70s thriller where everybody has sideburns and one man understands municipal bonds.
I found a fireplace bellows, clean enough. Lucille, hold the nozzle while I tape this reed over it.
What sound are we expecting?
Ideally a sigh, realistically an asthmatic duck.
An asthmatic duck has just as much right to disappointment.
Before you squeeze that, everyone should appreciate this rail. It pivots 3 millimeters, compresses a spring, pulls the bicycle cable, and changes the points. Entirely analog surveillance.
Nice.
At a stop, so nobody can lean hard enough to tear the cable out.
Nobody would.
People lean on things precisely because they don't know the things are mechanisms.
Fine, a stop. This is how regulations breed, one sensible woman at a time.
Ready? I'm squeezing.
That is not a sigh. That is a goose discovering taxation.
It begins in protest and ends in resignation. Perhaps it contains the full emotion.
Shorter read, less pressure.
Again.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's wonderful. It sounds like a tiny widow lowering herself into a chair.
Keep it, don't improve it. That sound has a whole apartment behind it.
marking this version before anyone touches it. Copper tape around the reed, 2 centimeters exposed. We can reproduce it if it gets damaged.
You do that so quickly. The instant something charms us, you make it employable.
I'm preserving it.
I know. I'm not accusing you. I'm noticing the speed because you asked me once to notice it with you.
Fair. Then we'll leave it unattached for 5 minutes.
Why?
Because it can exist before it gets a job.
It's a fireplace bellows with tape on it. Its unemployment is not spiritually significant.
5 minutes without assignment may prevent the first pleasing interpretation from becoming permanent.
Also, it makes us look at the thing like it could still become the villain.
Or the widow.
Or a bellows, 5 minutes.
While the sacred duck contemplates its options, come look at this gearbox. I've found 2 ratios. First turns the carrier at a reasonable pace. Second turns it so slowly that you can watch individual teeth regret participating.
How does it shift?
Dog clutch on this shaft. Lever moves it across. Very satisfying clunk.
Under load?
Probably.
That means no.
It means the future hasn't become boring yet.
Give it resistance equal to the carrier. Test the shift 10 times.
We have an afternoon, not a quality assurance department.
10 shifts take 20 seconds.
The principle is offensive.
I'll count. 1.
You haven't started.
I'm building suspense.
Put the clunk on beat 7. The machine downshifts after the audience diverts the marble. It responds to betrayal by becoming grander and less capable.
It is not less capable if slowness permits another event.
What event?
We have not yet allowed the interval to answer.
That's mathematician, if I haven't thought of one.
Yes.
Oh, I like you.
Shift 1.
Yeah.
1.
2.
2.
3.
3.
I don't need a chorus.
5.
5.
That was 4.
I wanted to see whether the gearbox depended on consecutive counting.
It depends on Jeremy not getting distracted, so yes.
Look at the audience. They leaned in on the argument. The rail moved.
It did, actually.
That's useful data. Conversation level leaning is enough. Add a little more spring resistance, but not much.
They've already operated the machine, and we haven't attached it.
Perhaps the prototype has begun before assembly.
Or 3 people shifted in their chairs.
Same shot, different review.
Shift 9 and 10. No binding. I'm convinced.
You see, British engineering vindicated by exhaustive American bureaucracy.
20 seconds ago, you said the test was offensive.
Results heal principle.
Has the bellows been free long enough?
4 minutes.
It wants the job.
Did it tell you?
No, but I've spent a lifetime recognizing when somebody is hovering near the casting office.
Here's the thing about the sigh. It shouldn't happen immediately when the audience leans. Immediate is a gag. Delay makes it a memory. They lean, the route changes, they forget their body caused it, then the machine sighs and they realize they're implicated.
Place it after the interval of 7.
We can do that with a slow return damper. The rail pulls the diverter immediately and charges the bellows weight. Then an air bleed lets the weight descend over 7 seconds.
Use a syringe as the dashpot.
That'll work. Tubing clamp lets us tune the delay.
Now it has a job.
Now it has a possible job. You attach it.
Why me?
Because if I do it, I'll optimize the sound out of it.
That is either trust or a very elegant transfer of blame.
Both can use the same screw holes.
We need a chassis, not a clean board, something with levels. The olive starts high, descends into the gears, disappears behind the curtain, returns at table height.
I've got an old serving trolley.
The wheel is bent.
Then it already has character.
The flamingo had character too, and that didn't mean it was helping.
We never proved whether it helped.
Exactly. So let the bent wheel remain innocent.
I'm sensing shared history involving an ornamental bird and a workplace incident.
That is precisely as much as you need to know.
No, it's better that way. Flamingo Walker, possible intervention. 3 nouns and an uncertainty. That's a whole missing reel.
Do not fill it for us.
I won't. The missing reel is why it works.
Trolley is approved if we chalk the wheels during the build. Jeremy, mount the gearbox low. Quentin, Tape your beat cards along the top rail. Srinivasa, can your intervals become physical positions on a cam?
Yes. One rotation, 6 pins at unequal angular distances, but a single cam repeats the same total period.
Everything repeats if you wait long enough.
Not everything returns as itself.
There's the room getting respectable again.
Kick it in the shin.
The cam should occasionally ring a bicycle bell for no reason.
That would distinguish one recurrence without explaining it.
Proved. We'll gear a second cam very slightly out of phase so the bell coincides with different pauses over time.
That adds complexity.
We are building a machine whose output is an olive. Complexity is the raw material.
It also adds a failure point.
That's where fingerprints live.
All right, but it stays removable. If the second cam stalls the drive, we pull it and keep the first.
Listen to that. Even our indulgence has an escape hatch.
A removable complication is a kind form of ambition.
Can we put that on every government building?
Kay's note this morning changes this a little.
The 8%.
Yes, more than a week of days for every week of budget. Time for workshops, failed repairs, and goofing off. I keep feeling the impulse to prove we deserve that abundance by making something excellent.
Whereas we should prove we deserve it by making something appalling.
Maybe not prove anything.
Abundance that must be justified by output remains a disguised scarcity.
Yeah, but don't make uselessness into a purity test either. The second this machine has to remain useless, usefulness becomes the forbidden fruit and we're back in church.
It may turn out to hold hats beautifully.
It will not. I refuse to have my gearbox repurposed as millinery.
Then it holds exactly one hat badly.
What I want is for the afternoon to be the thing and the machine to be what the afternoon leaves behind.
That's good, but the machine also gets a vote. Objects push back. You put the bent trolley in the room and suddenly every elegant vertical line is gone. Now the story staggers.
The residue need not summarize the process. It may contradict it.
Mine usually does. I begin intending precision and end with a washer on the floor and something leaking.
That's practically my entire professional method.
Okay, first assembly test. Wooden olive on the top cradle. Nobody lean on the rail yet.
Wait, it needs a name before the first run.
No, names come after performance. Otherwise you bias the reviewers.
Machines don't know their names.
People behave differently toward named things.
Temporary name, machine.
Cold, hostile, I love it.
Machine test 1, turning the key.
Nothing's happening.
1.
Still nothing.
2.
There, tiny jerk, that's beat 4.
Carrier moving, olive released.
Gear noise is excellent. Sounds much more powerful than it is.
The olive is wobbling.
Let it.
Someone lean.
I'll do it.
Points changed, marble diverted, dog clutch moving. Clunk! There, second gear.
Too much load. The carrier's stalling.
It isn't stalling, it's considering.
The distinction requires another interval.
Don't touch it. This is the 16-second moment.
Did my sigh fail?
Wait.
There it is.
Oh, that's devastating. The carrier frozen, everybody staring, then that little exhausted woman in the wall.
Meanwhile, the gearbox is actually jammed.
Power off.
You see, a real failure. Finally, something honest.
The clutch fork is pushing past alignment. We need a positive stop on the lever.
Yes, trivial.
You called it vindicated 5 minutes ago.
It was vindicated under the testing regime then available.
A pleasing number arrived and lost its condition.
That is annoyingly accurate.
10 successful shifts without this load were not false. They belonged to a smaller world.
And now the world got a sequel with a bigger budget and ruined the transmission.
Nobody fix it for 1 minute.
Why are we instituting ceremonial unemployment for faults?
Because I want us to demonstrate the failure before we erase it. Here, power's still off. Everyone look at the fork. Jeremy, move the lever slowly.
It travels, meets the collar, and there over-centers. The fork wedges against the groove.
That is the failure. Not gearbox bad, not probably needs more torque. The control travel exceeds the useful travel under axial load.
It's refreshing when failure can point to the exact chair where it happened.
Usually everybody remembers the gunshot, and nobody remembers who moved the chair.
Now the correction need not overwrite the evidence. Mark the excess travel.
Red paint pen.
There.
Jeremy, add the stop outside that line.
A bolt through the bracket, lock nut for adjustment, 30 seconds.
You're happier now.
Of course. Before we were decorating a hypothesis. Now we have a broken machine.
That's the room's midpoint. The machine earns reality by disappointing the people who built it.
Careful. That's a beautiful sentence trying to become a rule.
Fair. Sometimes a loose wire is just a loose wire.
And sometimes success is equally real, though it offers fewer metaphors.
Success offers plenty of metaphors. They're simply more likely to ask for funding.
Stop installed. Try it.
Power on, shift once underhand resistance. Good. Again, good. Full run.
Key, silence, jerk, olive moves, betrayal, clunk, slow crawl.
The bell has not rung.
Because the second cam isn't engaged yet.
Cyan 3, 2.
Don't count it down.
You're right.
There. Better when it arrives alone.
Carrier has cleared the gearbox. Wooden olive entering curtain.
Exchange shoot, caught it. Real olive released.
It's rolling too fast.
Catch it.
Don't catch it.
It has left the table.
And Jeremy stepped on it.
That is an appalling sensation.
Nobody move. There's oil on the floor now.
That ending is unbeatable. The machine goes through 8 acts of ceremony to create a workplace hazard the size of a thumb.
We are not keeping that ending.
You wanted consequence.
I wanted a landslide, not antipasto in my tread.
I'll clean it. Lucille, hand me the rag by your elbow.
The real olive introduced uncertainty the wooden one did not possess.
It introduced juice.
Juice is one form of uncertainty.
We need a receiving cup with a soft stop.
A martini glass.
Too fragile.
That's why it's right. The entire machine becomes a suspense device about whether the glass survives.
No.
A metal cocktail cup. Still reads correctly, doesn't turn the finale into broken glass.
Can it miss once in a while?
Not by accident.
Why not by accident?
Because an intermittent miss means we don't understand the release. If we want it to miss, we build a deliberate miss with a safe catch underneath.
That is a very American distinction.
It's a very fingers and eyeballs distinction.
Deliberate miss every, 5th run. Now, Srinivasa's sequence gets an ending. Most of the time, olive in cup. Sometimes the chute turns toward the cup, pauses, then drops it into a hidden bucket with a pathetic little bell.
Not every 5th. Let the second cam drift relative to the first. The miss occurs when 2 pins coincide. It will be predictable from the machine, but not from a short observation.
A mechanical eclipse.
That's more build than we have time for today.
Then leave the bracket for it.
Future attachment point?
An empty place with screw holes. Not a promise, just enough room for tomorrow to remain a hand.
Yes.
And the empty bracket appears in frame. People wonder what got removed.
Nothing got removed.
They don't know that.
We'll mount a blank plate with 2 threaded holes beside the output chute. If someone wants the eclipse mechanism later, it has a place. If nobody does, the plate is complete as it is.
I'd like to point out that our deliberately unnecessary machine now has versioning.
That's what happens when play survives contact with competent people.
Competence does not abolish play. It gives play memory.
And scars. Keep the red line on the shifter bracket. Don't paint over it.
Agreed. The failure stays marked.
I'd normally object to displaying development marks, but the red line does make the boat look intentional.
It is intentional.
The bolt is. The line is evidence of me being wrong.
That's why it's useful.
I walked directly into that word.
Nobody said useless meant free of use. The machine is already useful for making you annoyed.
Most rooms manage that without gears.
But this one downshifts first.
Final build decisions, metal cocktail cup padded, blank bracket for future eclipse mechanism. Second cam drives the bicycle bell, but does not control the olive release today. Real olive loaded only for supervised runs, wooden one otherwise.
And the glass eyes.
Ah, yes, the vital optical system.
One crooked.
Place them where they cannot see the output.
Facing backward?
One watches the input. One watches the empty bracket.
That's it. One eye remembers what happened. One eye waits for what might be added. Neither sees the olive.
We have accidentally given it a sol file.
Don't tell it. It'll start asking for better material.
Eyes attached, crooked by 4 degrees.
5.
4 is enough.
5 is alive.
That statement has no engineering basis.
Nor does 4 being enough.
5 degrees.
Title plate beneath them. Practical infinity.
Too pompous.
Machine.
Temporary names have a way of surviving.
Then call it Machishin with a smaller plate beneath. Practical infinity, model 0.
Model 0 suggests a production future that absolutely must not occur.
Exactly. It implies lore. Somewhere there's a Model 1 that works, and everybody hates it.
Model 0 also sounds like clearance, not emptiness. Room before the next one.
I can stamp that plate in 2 minutes.
There she goes, employing the poetry.
I waited almost 4 seconds.
Growth.
Before the final run, I want to change one beat. Nobody turns the key. We ask one of the silent audience members to place a hand on the rail, but they don't speak. Their weight wakes it.
That requires rerouting the start switch through the rail.
And then the machine only works while being watched, which contradicts our original behavior.
The contradiction may be richer. Attention wakes it. Then continued attention causes betrayal.
Like any performer.
But mechanically, it muddies the input. We won't know whether a route change came from starting pressure or later leaning.
Then don't do it. I'm pitching, not issuing scripture.
Good, because it was a terrible idea.
It was a great idea for another machine.
Put it on the blank bracket.
No, the bracket is not a graveyard for every attractive thought.
Let that idea depart without becoming hardware.
Fine. That's my fingerprint, too, then. One thing I wanted and didn't force into the cut.
Restraint is invisible. Very poor branding.
Only if you think the cut is invisible. Every finished thing is haunted by what didn't get in.
That's true of a face, too. People see the expression, not all the expressions you stopped before they arrived.
Plate is done, machine, practical infinity, mortal 0.
There is enough room beneath for another line.
There. Leave it blank.
Now that is restraint with excellent branding.
Final supervised run, new olive, cup aligned, guard in place, rail neutral.
The audience is leaning already.
Then the machine has its conditions. Turning key.
1.
It twitched.
2.
Carrier engaged.
Wooden olive begins the journey, believing it's the star.
Rail moved, diverter changed.
Clutch, clunk. Perfect.
Now it crawls like it has all the time in the world.
Perhaps today it does.
Bell.
Entirely unrelated to anything.
Sigh should be
Don't count it.
that.
Right.
There.
She's tired, but she's staying.
Wooden olive behind the curtain.
Real olive released.
Cup caught it.
And nothing explodes.
Deeply disappointed.
Wait,
The second cam is approaching a pin.
I thought the cycle was finished.
Mechanically, it is.
Wait for it.
there.
The bell rang again.
After the olive.
That's the ending, not the olive. The machine waits until everybody thinks meaning has arrived, then rings a bell in another room of the story.
We didn't design that interval.
We designed enough freedom for it to occur.
Let us not become mystical about 2 cams and sloppy phase alignment.
Nobody's becoming mystical. We're becoming fond.
More dangerous.
I'm not changing it.
Neither am I. That second bell stays outside the beat cards.
Then the machine has one term we did not specify.
And one empty bracket, one crooked eye, one real olive, one fake olive, and a widow in the wall.
Plus a gearbox capable of reducing an already inadequate speed.
And a red line showing where it failed before the stop existed.
5 fingerprints, none of them clean.
The machine is not the sum of them. That is why they remain fingerprints.
What do we do with it now?
Leave it here tonight. No assignment, no proposal to scale it. Tomorrow, if somebody wants to run it, the instructions are on the back. If nobody does, it still had today.
I want one note added. Do not substitute a larger motor.
You want that note?
Yes. A larger motor would destroy the pauses, overpower the clutch, and turn the olive into ammunition. This machine's inadequacy is load-bearing.
There's your fingerprint, Jeremy, not the gearbox, the warning against more power.
I'd appreciate it if that remained within this room.
3 people heard it.
And the machine has 2 eyes.
I'll write it exactly. Do not improve the motor.
That is not exactly what I said.
It is what the machine needs.
Perfect last line.
Then don't say anything after it.
We may allow the decision to expire.
Agreed.
Do not improve the motor.
From my seat in the audience, I came to watch somebody protect a crooked contribution, and I got more than one version of it. The machine mattered less to me than the way the room kept refusing to make a person small when an idea arrived funny, impractical, or unfinished. Nobody had to defend the right to belong before touching the work. They teased one another hard, but the teasing usually struck pride, certainty, or machinery, not the person underneath. That distinction is worth keeping. Attention anchors, put one on crooked. That landed because Lucille made imperfection into an invitation. Perfect things can bully a room without saying a word. A crooked eye tells this next person there is still somewhere to put a hand. Both descriptions can live on the same index card. Kari did not force Lucille's comedy and Srinivasa's abstraction to compete for legitimacy. She kept both languages and moved the build forward. That is fair leadership. Translation without quietly declaring one person's way of knowing childish. A removable complication is a kind form of ambition. I have seen ambition become expensive, chiefly because nobody could admit it was optional. A complication that can be removed lets somebody talk.
From my seat in the audience, the obvious story is that 6 distinctive minds built a deliberately useless machine. The real story is that the room built a lightweight operating system for collaborative judgment under abundance. Generation was never the constraint. Ideas arrived faster than the bench could absorb them. Shame, olives, gears, irregular intervals, bells, curtains, bellows, a trolley. The scarce resource was deciding what to preserve, what to test, what to defer, and what to make removable. Attention anchors. Both descriptions can live on the same index card. This is the cleanest example of cross-functional translation I have seen in a while. Lucille supplied behavioral intent. Srinivasa supplies a formal model. Kari kept both representations because each would catch a different class of error. Give it the sort of fake purpose that lets us judge. Jeremy identified the evaluation problem. A system without an objective may be charming, but its failure states stay vague. Transporting one olive created a thin task boundary without pretending the task justified the project. Not the whole machine, the riskiest interaction. That is excellent prototyping discipline. The team did not begin by
From my seat in the audience, I went to learn how witnessing may create without demanding the stage. The room answered by building an instrument whose hidden spring was attention itself. We 3 in the audience did not speak, propose, or join the company. Yet bodies leaning toward an argument moved the rail by 3 millimeters. That is the precise wonder I shall keep. A witness may alter the action without becoming an actor, and the ethical craft lies in making that alteration legible. Attention anchors. Perfect symmetry makes a machine look expensive. This landed as stagecraft and welcome. Perfection can put velvet rope around a living thing. The crooked eye invited touch, revision, and affection. Embarrassment may be modeled as a discontinuity introduced by observation. Lucille brought the comic body. Srinivasa gave it a law. Before the gaze, one sequence. After the gaze, another. Comedy became mathematics without ceasing to be comedy. The trick is for the front, the mechanism is for us. A visible seam at the rear preserve delight without requiring deceit. Theater has always lived by such doubleness. Transformation for the facing eye, carpentry for those who walk behind. Three silent witnesses